is there a way to get out of this brain rot? Yes. And finally, your brain will be ready to do anything you want to achieve in your life. You have a lot of tasks and assignments to be met, but you won't be able to focus on it. Instead, you'll feel empty, or you'll be thinking about that one reel which triggered your emotion. Any other day, you sit to complete your assignments or even read a book, you feel odd. Then you'll take your phone and watch Insta Reel for 10 minutes, and 10 minutes will become 20 minutes, 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and then to 1 hour. You wasted 1 hour now and haven't learned anything good. Now you don't know what to do. You feel exhausted. You feel empty. Now you'll go to YouTube and watch some random videos and yet feel empty. Now it's already past 11 AM and you wasted half your day. Here you won't be able to do anything useful. You can't concentrate. You feel stuck. This is called as brain rot. If you can't feel boredom, or if you're not able to sleep well, or you have certain mood changes or personality changes, then you're likely to have a brain rot. How do you get brain rot? If you're constantly involved in mindless activities, you will eventually end up having a brain rot. What is mindless activities? Activities which does not require mental effort or conscious thought and does not have an end is called as a mindless activity. And still, if you're not able to understand what the hell I'm talking about, let us dive into neuroscience. So, if you're still watching the video, congrats, you don't have a brain rot. If you do any feel-good activities, at the end of the activity, your brain will secrete dopamine. Dopamine is a hormone or a neurotransmitter present in our brain. Dopamine secretion will happen when you do something that you really like, or eat your favorite food, go out with your girlfriend, or any feel-good activities. And importantly, your brain also secretes dopamine when you watch Insta Reels or YouTube Shorts. It is okay if you have occasional dopamine secretion, but the harmful effect comes into play only when dopamine secretion occurs constantly, like every 60 seconds or so. When you have constant dopamine secretion, eventually your dopamine baseline will increase. The dopamine baseline is the amount of dopamine which your brain requires to have that feel-good effect. This base level will become very high. You'll have a dopamine crash when the dopamine hits doesn't take you above the baseline.
Let's go.
In our brain, we have a part called as the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex makes us to focus on our daily activities or any activity which we are doing. Now, if you're constantly watching reels, your prefrontal cortex will try to focus on it, even though if it does not require focus. Then you won't focus on real life activities. This is called hyperfocus. You won't concentrate on real life activity. Instead, you'll be thinking about a random reel or a short which you have seen earlier. When you're doing mindless activities, sometimes you get emotionally triggered. Some random reel or a short may scare you or make you feel anxious. In our brain, there is a part called amygdala. Amygdala deals with our learning behavior and emotions, especially fear. These emotionally triggering reels will trigger your amygdala. Your amygdala keeps the memory of a highly emotional event. If you think of a person, the first event which will come to your brain is either a very happy event or a very sad event which contains a lot of emotion. Imagine what happens if your amygdala is constantly triggered when you're watching reels or shorts. When you keep doing something, there will be a deep connection with that thing in your brain. This is called neuroplasticity. This connection will only be broken over a long period of not doing that thing or forming an even stronger bond with any other thing. So if your mind has a deep connection with mindless activities and if you still keep doing it, the bond will get stronger and eventually it will become a habit or an addiction. Then whenever you are free, you will start doing mindless activities. You can't feel boredom. This will always keep you in a state of brain rot. You won't be social, your productivity levels go down, and eventually you will be depressed. Brain rot happens due to the imbalance between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. So, is there a way to get out of this brain rot? Yes. Now, let us see that. How to come out of brain rot? Step 1. If you have Instagram, uninstall it. Unless you make money by content creation or doing some random shit. Detach yourself from mindless activities. Do activities which are more time consuming and which requires conscious thought and mental effort. For example, like reading a book or even watching a movie. Watching a movie, you have to focus, concentrate on the movie for entire 2.5, 3 hours, and then finally you get some dopamine due to the result of the movie. These activities do have an end. Like watching a movie, the movie will end in 2 or 3 hours. But mindless activities, they never have an end. They are eternal. You have to do dopamine reset. Initially, try to get boredom by not doing anything and detaching yourself completely from social media. And then start doing activities which require minimal mental effort, like walking, jogging, or even cycling, and eventually increase the mental effort and conscious thought for your activities like reading books, and finally your brain will be ready to do your tasks, assignments, and anything you want to achieve in your life. I guess that's it, and chalo, let's meet in the next video. Bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still